So after May 31st, TRON is no longer an ERC20 token, and this has basically sparked up a renewed conversation regarding the future of TRON and how this change in status is ultimately going to be influencing the technology in respect to the future and where we're moving when it comes to TRON. And I think that it's really interesting to see that Feng has been paying attention to TRON, and this has also sparked up the conversation about TRON and CoinBase again, due to the fact that Feng is such an invested interest in multiple areas of cryptocurrency, but Coinbase in particular. And now seeing his name popping up in the news regarding TRON has really started a conversation across the cryptocurrency community, in particular when it comes to Twitter. A lot of people have really been talking about the possibilities of TRON being added to Coinbase. Now, obviously, this is pretty much just speculation. At this point, none of this is really confirmed. So if you're interested in a video that's going to basically go over legitimate evidence and so forth, so when we go over the conversation that's currently happening on Twitter, it is definitely really interesting to see how the community has been responding to Feng and the possibilities that are in store for TRON as a technology. Now, I have talked about TRON plenty of times on this channel before, and I've stressed the importance of the decentralized web, and I think that this is a sentiment that's ultimately going through the entirety of cryptocurrency. And I think that ultimately people understand the need for decentralized media. I mean, you look at the news, you see the various conversations that are happening regarding data, the conversations that are happening regarding censorship, all these hot button issues that are really building on top of each other. And it's starting a conversation that's really interesting when you consider how TRON has been positioning themselves moving forward. It's definitely something interesting to speculate on and do your research. Obviously, I'd recommend that everybody do your research when it comes to cryptocurrencies, in particular TRON. I think that Justin Sun definitely does have a really good plan for this. It's a really hard-working team that's essentially working on TRON. And look, my understanding of TRON is fundamentally data-driven. I find that it's important to look into the details behind these technologies to get an idea of how they're going to be acting in the real world. And it's really interesting when you consider the fact that TRON's currently at this number 10 position. And moving forward, I really think that there's a lot of potential to see TRON rising up the ranks, especially with the new involvements that they're striking across the deal. Now, obviously, the Feng a lot of the various things are unconfirmed, and of course, when it comes to Coinbase, but I mean, I find that the community on this channel finds this sort of news interesting, because when it comes to cryptocurrency, the trick is to look at. I mean, I listen to every single rumor because you never know when those rumors are going to turn out to actually, have a really significant impact. So when it comes to the current situation as things are developing, TRON really seems as if they're positioning themselves in a substantial way, and I think that it's only a matter of time before we see TRON rising up from that number 10 position and possibly occupying some of those higher up positions as we continue to see. I mean, you all remember what we saw happen to Ripple, and of course the famous involvement with Feng and so forth, but it definitely seems as if the conversation really is drifting towards the endorsement of Ripple and these sort of technologies, including TRON, these various different things that, I mean, obviously Feng is a huge name in cryptocurrency, so this sort of development is really interesting for anybody who's paying attention to TRON in the overall context of the technology, and it's been really good for the various news that's, I mean, front page when you search TRON, TRON Coinbase. I mean, I'm just looking for various different news articles regarding TRON, but I also did a search for just TRON by itself, and it is interesting to see how the various different elements of the community have sort of warmed themselves up to TRON as a technology. And moving forward, I think TRON is definitely positioning themselves in a key, substantial way. And moving forward, TRON is definitely a long-term project for me when I'm paying attention to the various different developments that are happening within the realm realm of the possibilities that are in store for the technology. So it is definitely really interesting to be seeing all these different variables as they've been coming together. And sure, it is interesting to see how the public consciousness has been adapting as well. But of course, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This video is not financial advice. This video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. The whole purpose of me making this video is to share my opinion, and that's entirely what this video is. This is just me giving my opinion. And of course, remember, I'm not your dad. In the spirit of sharing various different opinions, I'm actually going to be including a link to this video by Dusty BC, who really goes into interesting detail regarding this Feng possibilities that are coming up, and of course the possibility of TRON listing on CoinBase. Now, for those people who have said that this could never happen, I think that they're going to be very surprised as they see how much cryptocurrency like we always talk about on here, how cryptocurrency is a very volatile market, and we can see really significant changes almost happen overnight. And in the light of the mainnet and all these different in the testnet and all these different things that have been compiling in regards to the TRON technology, I think that moving forward there's a lot of really substantial opportunities in respect to this technology. And when we look at other technologies like Steam that have essentially went the decentralized route when it comes to these technologies, in DTube, of course, we're seeing success when it comes to these different platforms slowly but surely, as these platforms like Google and YouTube continue to censor their user bases. We've been seeing a lot of people navigating to alternative platforms, and Steam and TRON essentially are going to be at the center of a shifting paradigm that's happening across all different levels of society. So it is an interesting time to be looking into these different decentralized platforms, especially anybody. I would say if you guys are interested in sharing TRON, I would say, and Steam, of course, I would be sending messages to all your favorite YouTubers and various different content creators throughout the internet and telling them that you want to see them using these different decentralized platforms, especially content creators who support basically freedom of speech and so forth on the internet, because it really is interesting to see how cryptocurrency has opened up a door for a new level of the internet and a new level of media consumption that's honestly really shifting. I mean, cryptocurrency in and of itself is a paradigm shift that's happening across all different levels of society, and it is no question to see. I mean, obviously currently we're looking at the chart right now, and we've seen a bit of a downward movement, but of course I would say that it's just a healthy correction. But then again, you have to remember where we were a little bit more than a month ago, back in early April, and of course I would say that these sort of corrections, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the overall market cap dip down to where we were seeing it in April, and then of course spike back up. But I would also like to see a little bit of resistance along the way, but of course that's my perspective when it comes to it. But yeah, I mean, it is interesting to be seeing all these different developments, and I definitely recommend that everybody go and follow the TRON founder Justin Sun on Twitter, and of course make sure that you follow TRON Foundation as well, both verified accounts, and of course make sure that you follow the show as well on Twitter, because it's always interesting to stay connected with the community. And I definitely recommend that everybody who's interested in the content that we've been producing on this show will definitely be keeping everybody up to date regarding these technologies. And of course, yeah, so I'll be including a link to my Twitter down in the description respectively. And yeah, moving forward, I think TRON definitely does have a lot of potential in store for it, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of these different developments as they've been evolving along the way. So of course, if you're not already, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so that we can continue to stay up to date regarding these TRON and so forth in the future of cryptocurrency. And yeah, I'd just like to say, remember to comment down below and let me know what you think about these new developments. You think names like Feng being tossed around are going to really shape the influence that these technologies are going to have? Because I understand a lot of people who've been involved with cryptocurrency for any amount of years might not think of I mean, you probably don't even use CoinBase anymore if you're been involved with cryptocurrency cryptocurrency for any amount of time. Platforms like Coinbase are really for people who are just getting introduced to cryptocurrency, but you have to understand how many people actually use Coinbase. I mean, I use Coinbase. I like Coinbase. I still like it. I think it's a good service and so forth. And I think that overall, as we see more people getting involved with cryptocurrency, we'll see all the different technologies that are available on Coinbase really going up in value. There really is a Coinbase effect when it comes to this sort of thing. We've seen it before with technologies like Bitcoin Cash. When getting added to Coinbase, it really does legitimize the technology in the public consciousness, especially when it comes to people who are really just getting adapted to these technologies. But you also have to think about the consumer psychology, and I think seeing something like TRON at 6 cents available on Coinbase would probably be something that's more attractive than the alternatives, because currently I think that the cheapest technology on Coinbase is Litecoin. So we have Bitcoin at 8,000 and Ethereum at 600, Litecoin at 100, and then we bring in something like a 6 cent TRON. I mean, really would be something interesting in regards to the price activity and so forth, and the potential that's in store for that technology. But all that being said, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this content. And yeah, I mean, it is interesting. If we do see TRON getting added to Coinbase, there's going to be a lot of people who've basically been waiting for this sort of thing to happen. And of course, there'll be a lot of people who've been speculating on both ways. But I'm fairly confident that this rumor could I think we'll get a confirmation within a certain amount of time. Definitely by the end of May, we should honestly be seeing whether or not this is a real possibility. But as far as I'm concerned, I think that there really is a unique potential right now in store for a technology like TRON to really fill that space on Coinbase. So moving forward, I'm really excited to be seeing how this community has been growing and so forth. And of course, remember to follow me on Twitter and everything. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.